You have to logic through it. We're down to Mariah versus Joelle on the locks. Mariah wants to win this for her team. There are many different combinations of 4 to open this. Joelle had a lead in getting to try a few combinations first. It's just a matter of if he was methodical about it.
No rush, no rush. It's gonna come out. It's nice. No rush, no rush. No rush, no rush. It's gonna come out. It's nice.
Mariah unlocks the box.
Got it right here.
4 seconds.
One, 4.
4, Joel, 1, 4.
7, 1, 4, 7, 9.
4, 7, 9.
Maggie is desperate to get this correct.
It has one, it has one.
Getting closer and closer with every piece. Looking like this challenge is probably going to be a blowout. We've lost every challenge so far
She's not
today.
great. You're okay.
They said no more.
To the dark.
Am I missing one?
Maggie missed some pieces inside of her box.
This is
Or do you think
I
they're gonna
don't
stay
know.
strong?
I think whatever we did with Eric is at least gonna make it messy.
Yeah. Well, didn't someone say that Nate and someone didn't get along?
Taylor.
Are you saying it made it
Taylor
messy to get
Taylor
him
was
keys?
saying that
For
made
their team, for their next tribal.
I
Taylor
thought you
was-
meant we made like a bad call, and I'm like, oh, I didn't.
I think
I didn't even question it.
I think we can't possibly know if he made a bad call, but we have to take that risk at this point.
I agree.
We need to say, we need him.
If we did that.
Yeah.
Wait, can we take a second?
Can we get a
Oh, it's recording.
That's okay.
Are you taping? Okay, so which good news do we want first? We could take I found something today. And it says that immunity safety, congratulations. You may turn this paper into a member production blah blah for 2 safety keys, but first I have to win an individual immunity.
Eric, okay, how many did they have?
Maybe 5 4 if he stays.
Do they only have 5 over there?
No, but they're going to.
Yeah.
So we
they only
technically have
right?
5,
So
Yeah.
someone
and
set
they
out?
would have.
2 people
Oh,
sat out.
well,
Yeah, they didn't let Eric.
How many's in their tribe? 6? 6?
We won. I'm so emotional. I'm almost not emotional. Like, we won our challenge. I don't know whether to cry, laugh, or just go lay down and go to sleep. We're feeling good right now. I don't know what's happening. We're hungry and ready for merge. You know, I'm gonna ride this high out with Blue right now. We've had it rough. I have been to every single tribal council that I could be at. I've been at every single tribal council, so I'm just gonna go chill and hopefully a merge and some food, and we'll see.
So, since getting here, I have been a little bit reluctant with puzzles. I have issues with performance anxiety, and I've really struggled with it the past 10 years. And I do puzzles a lot at home, so it blew me away that I was able to just focus and think it through and not get overwhelmed and truly just deliver. And I mean, I feel like that in many ways was obviously a gift to my tribe, but kind of like a little gift to myself. So it just felt so amazing.
Good job, y'all.
First immunity win this season, guys. Sorry.
Good job. You're good. Good job.
Great job.
Congratulations. I'm so sorry.
I did the puzzle.
Can you give me keys? I'm so dead, and I'm gonna take one of them out and flip it. Congratulations, y'all.
Or do I need to wait?
I gotta be obvious now, but I know.
Before they
No, I know.
leave.
I know.
Possible.
Look, guys, I love you. I'm just trying to get keys so I can get one of them out.
All right, Maggie is turning in a piece of paper that says, "Congratulations, you may turn this card into a member of production to receive 2 safety keys after you have successfully completed a puzzle to win a challenge." Maggie just won a puzzle.
For Eleanor, girl.
She gets 2 safety keys.
You got this.
Odds are good, but they're not perfect.
We've been looking at Eric because we're just trying to read him. It's been so hard to tell whether he's like playing us or not. So we played our advantage that we were going to play anyways and got the keys immediately. It was for me completing the puzzle and us winning the challenge. We got 2 keys, and we just gave it to him. I think at this point it's our only shot, or at least it's our best shot. So Eric has 2 keys. Good luck. Fingers crossed.
But Casey
But
came
I
and
also hate
told.
to see somebody coming to look at what was. She literally walked over to see what was on my log, and then called it out. Like, that's dirty.
But did Casey explain to them where it lines up?
I think so, but so many directions, it's easy to miss something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
I didn't listen. When we watch Survivor, you see, or when we play Survivor, You see that people lean over and look, right? You don't see people run around your opponent's table to the other side. Like, she came all the way around to our table. May came all the way around our table, our puzzle maker, and looked at the lock, and obviously didn't know how to read the lock because she got it wrong anyway. That's a bit much. You know what I mean? We know you're gonna, try and look at it. But anyway, that's why it didn't open, if you ask me. That's why that lock didn't get open. That was just a little too dirty. That's me though. I mean, it's just good to know as we get close to March what you're looking out for.
I just know that
That's
May is
dirty.
going to come to us and say that she's wanting to flip. And like, I just think like we have to not even entertain it.
Maybe
Like,
she's
well,
a good
well, like-
target for us.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I think so. Like, people have to see it. I know she's not been to a ton of
Now, should we
tribals,
let
but-
her think that, oh yeah, like, we're willing? Like, should we make her think
I mean,
that we're
you know,
willing?
Let's see what happens first.
Yeah.
I don't think
Mhm.
Eric is out until he's out.
Right.
So maybe,
Magic can
maybe she
happen
won't
in
be here, and we don't need to sit and
Turkey.
talk about a whole plan for her.
The worst case scenario would be for me to go talk to Eric and for Eric to tell me that I'd be better off sticking with red and for me to switch right now. I would be willing to do that because sometimes it takes a lot of hard choices to get through this game. And if I don't make the hard choices, even for the people I love, then what am I gonna be? I'm probably just gonna be on jury. But at least I might give myself a better chance if I can link back up with Eric.
As you saw, we're super close, super tight. I'm extremely sad to see Eleanor go. She sacrificed herself last round as well with me, and I was super sad to do it. And I was like, are you sure? So we had a really close bond because she trusted me with that. And she's just amazing. We just got really close and we haven't been separated. So she was definitely someone I leaned on in my decisions. So I'm sad to see her go, but she's gonna come back from redemption and we're gonna be a strong five again.
It doesn't feel good because Eleanor was one of my number ones. When I think about number ones, it was Eleanor and Mariah. And then Brittany and Maggie are like almost just one step behind that. So losing Eleanor was like losing a number one. It definitely hurts, and I definitely hate to see a player make a move like that when it's not in the best interest for their own game. I think that players should always be thinking about what's best for them. And so to see Eleanor self-sacrifice in that way means a hell of a lot, but it also hurts a lot to see.
So how many collective keys do we have now? 2? Do we have 2?
2. I have 1.
So we have the ability for an extra vote.
Do we have to?
Wait, 2 is an
Oh,
extra
that's what I
vote?
was asking. I thought based on your advantage, you have an extra vote.
We have a vote, not extra key. I thought you were asking that key. I'm sorry.
No.
I've got the
Just-
vote.
We only have 1 key between us and the extra vote.
More. I've done my survive fire. Thank you for teaching. There you go. Do we need some small sticks?
This is gonna work. Okay.
Worst case scenario. We need to get it more towards the center. It will be okay.
I'll get little six.
Yeah, Eleanor was kind of always the fire starter, so.
And Trace.
And Trace, yeah.
So what happens if you guys stay in the same teams and you lose the next immunity challenge?
If we have one more, I hope they let me go since I have so many chances to get back in redemption. Eleanor's a fierce competitor. There's a lot of fierce competitors over there, so that's my only fear. And Eleanor's super confident. I hope we don't have to do another tribal. But I think any of us would be willing to sacrifice. Mariah was super, I think she would actually sacrifice herself and not let me go. But I really strongly would urge her to let me go and let me earn my way back in. So hopefully we won't have to experience that.
Anything else?
No, we're just discussing. We have an extra vote. We're very open of what we have, as you can tell. that way we can all work together and hopefully use it correctly. I hope red is not as tight as we are. I just can't picture that because we just know everything about each other and what we have. Sorry, I'm not looking at you. I'm just like thinking. But yeah, we were discussing if we should bring Eric in on things if we do merge. Like, should we tell him about our advantages? And we think we're gonna tell him we really need him for a vote and see if he will vote with us. But we're also gonna use that extra vote. And if he votes with us, that would give us 6 and voting one of the red out. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head. But if he doesn't vote with us, then we would tie with the extra vote, and at least we would know if he's with us or not. And I think we are all willing to go to rocks if we would tie to see who could go on.
I feel like Frances is like, didn't she vibe with all of you or no?
I vibe with Brandon.
Or Carlos.
Or Trace.
If he's here.
I didn't get to know Carlos. But
You didn't know Carlos,
But
okay.
he would definitely vote for one of us.
He would definitely
like,
come in for us.
Yeah, like
or-
if one of us made it.
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
I was thinking Trace too. I don't know how, like if you guys got much time with Trace.
That was an interesting one.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything out of the ordinary happened at that
Oh,
time?
yeah,
I don't know.
interesting.
Why don't you tell us?
Man in a clown suit. I'm sorry. Which normally doesn't happen on Survivor.
Like I was starting to say earlier, I apologize for the rudeness and sprinting over to the enemy tribe.
It's okay. It's part of the game.
You know what? It's
part of the
okay.
game. It's a mix of like emotion and gameplay.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
And
your,
it's not even
it's your
the
old tribe.
enemy
you know,
tribe.
It's your old
Yeah.
tribe, and you
The
know
other
we're
tribe.
not enemies.
I just wanted to
yeah.
make sure you guys know,
Yeah.
did know that I did not throw.
Yeah, just,
Like that was not.
Look,
we didn't sit you out.
if
because-
you threw knowing that I have a bunch of keys, you'd be a braver man than me. That's
Right.
all I'm saying. So I don't think you threw it all. I don't think anyone does. Let me just put this on the record. Don't waste your breath trying to get me to vote and not use them. I've gone home with an idol. It's not happening again. I encourage you to spend your time elsewhere. Hey, sure. Feel
Yeah.
free to disbelieve me.
Yeah. Right. I feel so bad because I feel like this was a crucial round. Like if we would have won this, like they would have had to cannibalize themselves and we would have went into the merge with numbers and stuff. So it sucks, but like I think that strong players in this game are able to adapt to any situation. And so I've gotten over the pity party. I'm ready to play. It sucks because Eric's got like every fucking key in the book. And then we're gonna have to hear about it at Tribal.
This challenge happens. I don't know why we're not merged yet. Not thrilled. It's do or die time again. And this time, the tribe died. Interesting decision to sit me out.
I don't know. I mean, there's no reason. There's
Yeah.
no reason. There's no reason.
You're
for
right,
any of
you're
this.
right.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
But I mean, you really need to know that because I mean, when you said that about being afraid that someone thought you threw the challenge, like I mean, there is no way. There is no way. And if you threw the challenge, you are
Also,
the
we just
best
talked
actor
before.
in the world.
Not even acting. There's literally no reason for you to throw it.
No,
If
when-
we
well,
knew he had extra keys.
He was frank enough to talk about the keys beforehand. You had that information. You had every reason, and we had obviously.
Yeah, I
we had
saw
every-
him throwing shit in his bag.
And
I was
he
just
had
like,
every reason to throw it if he was in the
Oh,
challenge.
absolutely.
He was going to throw
100%.
it
And-
to
and-
save his
Yeah,
buddies.
yeah, he was. He was going to throw it, and so that's why we, didn't have him play.
I do believe Joel when he said he didn't throw that lock challenge situation. It does make sense. We knew Eric was making some moves with the other tribe. I mean, it's clear as day that those 5 original blue people are gonna stick by each other. The way the swaps have turned out, like that's people's best options right now.
Savannah is just a very sweet person and who probably is feeling a little bit nervous in the game. And my gameplay, as always, is part real human connections and part strategy. Obviously, it's good for me if she likes me and wants to work with me, but it's also true. I certainly like her more than everyone else in this tribe. Her and Drew, those are the two people I like.
I'm not trying to encroach.
No, you're welcome.
We have to decide what we're going to do about that.
Yeah.
That's just.
You know,
I
we
think
may
it's
seem
fair for
divided,
us.
but
if we-
I see 6 clowns here. Mean it.
And one in the suit.
Right.
I would like to say,
Yeah.
we all can agree to that. I know that's like, that's putting a trust in each other, no matter what happens after this.
Yeah.
So I think we have to just approach this round as it's the 5 of us.
Yeah.
We have to.
And that's the second
Yeah.
vote.
But no
matter what, those still have to go.
Absolutely.
We got back to talk game mode, and we don't have a ton of time. And I think the writings on the wall, Eric was given at least 2 keys publicly. We knew he found one earlier as well, so that's minimum 50-50 chance. And we saw some other keys or some other things shoved in the bag. So I think the odds are pretty high that Eric gets safe, if that's the case, and he won't have a vote. So kind of what I pitched to the group was that all 5 of us vote.
Are you doing professional?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you. Ugh. I kind of pitched that, like, all 5 of us, we have to kind of, like, Eric is a huge threat, especially if the way that they behaved after that challenge, not just him, but that whole group of 5 people. So we have, even if it's small odds, we have to take that shot at Eric. And if not, get his keys out of here. They gave up a lot of keys to do that. And so that was my pitch to everyone, all 5 of us. We got together. It's unfortunate that we have to talk about the 5 of us breaking up. We have had such a nice afternoon, getting to know each other and, talking about things that are bigger and outside this game. And it's tough to see that breakup, but I'm in game mode right now. If we do go down in a number into a merge situation, knock on wood, I need people who are going to be strong and play the game with me to try and overcome those odds. My suggestion is we all vote Eric the first time.
Yeah.
And then we can basically play this round as it's just the 5 of us.
Yeah.
Pitch. May is my final 2 at this point. I gotta write it out. I'm excited to work with her. And let's see what we can do. But we're gonna have to work harder now than we had to maybe before. So I'm looking forward to doing that and hoping I survive this. Hoping nothing goes too crazy. But it probably will. Mischief, baby.
Woo! What's that?
We should walk and talk.
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh,
hey.
okay. Or were you talking to them together?
I was talking to them together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So did Taylor seem on board with that?
I don't know. I have to talk to her.
Okay.
So, yeah. But what do you think? And your boy is going to go home and practice opening locks. Fun. If it was a combination lock, I would have got it. Like the one in the locker room. But why do you have to put it over to the side? It didn't make sense. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Let's see what's going to happen.
We lose the challenge and all hell breaks loose. It's time to get super transparent. They love me over there. I'm the most popular guy in that blue tribe. It's amazing because Maggie, just on the verge of tears after completing an awesome puzzle, pulls out my saving grace, potentially, and redeems that little scroll for 2 keys, hands them to me, and now I've got a real fighting shot.
What happened after the challenge with him running over there is reason that nobody should play. Because you're going to be on the block.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to feel like he can go back and forth. So
Yeah, absolutely.
he has to be screwed without the keys or go home and try to bluff.
Right.
One or the other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think my work at the bottom of this tribe has really paid off because it's obvious that I'm a dead man walking, that I'm the next to go. But little conversations here and there with Drew and with Savannah might have just paid off big time.
Hey, Eric.
Yeah. Briefly. Still got a little bit of work to do, but yeah, sure.
All right.
What's up? All right, let's get in front of the camera.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I can't help myself.
Will you tell me?
I don't have 6 now. I have 5.
Okay.
So it's exactly what I told you at the thing.
Okay. All right. So you had 3.
Yeah.
And you got the 2 just now.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you get the 3 from Jacob?
I got one from Jacob. I found 2.
Oh, you found 2?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'd already
Around
had
here?
one. No, I'd already had one.
Oh.
And then I found one.
Found one here. Okay. Okay. Well, you know, I mean, one thing for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I just so you'll know, I mean, I think I have to go with him. The 5 of us will vote for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. You know,
No.
I think with 5 out of 6 keys, you know, you're, but I don't.
Hey,
you know,
anything can
that's where it
happen.
is. But
How do you think the revote's going to go?
I don't have any idea. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think would be best?
I think you should throw a hanky vote. I'm genuinely, like, that doesn't save me. I'm still playing my keys.
Yeah.
I don't know why you wouldn't. And I would, who you throw it on would be up to you. I really don't care.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I understand. But do you have a preference at all? Okay. All right. Okay.
not really.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, if you take out Taylor, I'll split the keys with you.
I know I've been with May and Joelle this entire game so far, so I'm going to put my trust in them the most. I also am aware that May has been pulling everybody aside, and I've also kind of been forcing other people to throw out her name. I did it to Joelle, and I did it to Drew just now. So our plan going into the first vote is that everybody is to write Eric's name down. We all are putting a symbol on it to solidify that trust within the 5 of us. May also just gave me one of her keys, so I can turn them in for the power of mischief. I have no idea what that could be. I don't even have a guess, so I'm just gonna play it, see what happens. Ideally, on the revote, this is where it's a little gray, but I am aware that Eric has me as bounty, and I just want to make sure that I make it past this, so hopefully this power of mischief doesn't like fuck me over. And yeah, I'm glad that Drew is on the same page of May being a threat at merge and Joelle as well. So like I said, I didn't say May to Drew. I kind of was like asking Drew what he thought we should do on a revote, and he threw out Joelle's name. And I was like, we could do that, but do you think Joelle is going to be a big target at merge, or do you think there's someone else? And he was like, you're right. And I was like, well, who else would we do? And he said May. And I was like, yeah, I agree. She's like good socially. And I played up the fact that she was close with the girls on blue when we were over there for a few rounds. So I think I am lining things up, and hopefully things go my way. Hopefully the mischief is worth it. Yeah, see what happens.
Don't anyone think that there's any reason, because there's no reason.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
we all played a great game.
It's-
I mean, the fact that we just had that heart conversation.
Yeah.
makes us
Having
like,
that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you cannot script that.
No.
Like we did, literally
No.
just had that, and
I
then
mean,
this happened.
listen,
Hashtag I'm
I want to tell you, I mean, from my heart, the connections are genuine. I mean, absolutely.
I
I
think
mean,
that's, yeah, that's
you
what
know,
I'll be said.
all right.
I gotta talk to you. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
There's
need to
your
talk to
thing.
Taylor, and I need to talk to Savannah too. Okay.
All right. So, at the current state of affairs, how are you feeling about coming into this next tribe?
Rotten. I mean, we couldn't have lost almost at a worse time. We were hoping that we'd be going into the merge. It wasn't a merge, it was another challenge. So now we feel pretty strongly, pretty confident that the merge is going to be at 9, because after this tribal council, there'll be 9 people in the game. So the 5 of us from original red on our current red tribe were really tight. Eric was the one that we got in the last swap that wasn't our original person. I personally have been very lucky on the 2 tribe swaps that I didn't get swap messed up. There's another word for it that I won't say, but you know, it was swap favorable for me every time because I had a majority of my people. And so, I mean, it's nothing against Eric. Eric's played a great game, but as far as this goes, we're pretty sure that Eric has 5 keys at least. If he only has 5 keys, there's a chance that we can vote him out. I think all of the other members of our tribe are going to be voting for him. I think he expects it. And so we're expecting a revote, and so we're scrambling. We're scrambling because basically we're talking about voting out a member of our family. And I mean, again, you know, for the 2 hours we sat up here this afternoon, we had the deepest heart-to-heart conversation about life and love and faith and all the big issues of life, and everybody was in tears, and I mean, we've really connected, and this is going to be horrific. I mean, some of the tribal councils we've been in have been really hard emotionally, but this is going to be hard. And it's crazy because didn't know these people, most of them, 48 hours ago.
I think when I talked to Taylor, Taylor's talking about May. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's, well, whatever. Okay, so here's what I think.
I don't mean to discount either one of us.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm wondering who would be the biggest threat to go to the end, you know, once you get to past the merge.
Yeah.
And if it's not you or me, well, let's just say it's not you or me.
Yeah.
You know, let's just say that. So then who would it be? Would it be Savannah? Would it be May? Or would it be Taylor? I tend to think it would be May. I love May. I mean, I absolutely don't want to vote for anyone. But that's what I think. I mean, she's very charismatic. She's very articulate.
This reminds me a little bit of my job because, especially when I was in family court, I mean, it was natural for emotions to get involved. And, you know, and I have to compartmentalize. And I'm not bad at it because I've been doing it for a long time.
Girly pop. If I'm gonna be voted out, I at least will look cute.
On the other hand, the question is, who's more of a threat to win the game? You know, once we get to the merge.
There's that as well, but like we also need to think like who's the most loyal.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna be down in numbers.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of going through my head as well.
Absolutely, 100%.
So.
Well, I mean, Savannah would be more of a threat for individual immunity.
Sure.
You know.
As I said before, Savannah and I shook on a final two, so I feel very tight with her. Joel and I I think he thinks he has a final two with me as well. And he even told Eric that he's like really tight with me, so that makes me feel good that he's told other people that and that they've confirmed it. And then Taylor's been with us for the whole time, so that makes me feel good as well. Joel thinks that we haven't made because we made a 4-person alliance with Savannah and Zach before the first swap. And then Taylor, we also have Taylor on the other side that we've been with the whole time, so he feels like we're in the middle of that 4-person majority. So I feel like I set myself up very, very nicely. Like, you know, you said it's an emotional game, and I'm really an emotional person. Yeah. So I can't really separate that much.
Right.
And the conversation that we had where, like, you were, I really connected with you when you were talking about that.
Yeah.
And Taylor talking about her grandpa.
Oh, I know.
So that's kind of what left me.
Yeah.
You're good. And oh, by the way, I gave my safety key to Taylor because she's going to play 2 keys for the Power of Mischief, which I'm so excited for. I'm excited to figure out what's going on with that. And hopefully that'll be helpful for us too.
Yes.
You guys.
Yeah. I trust you guys, and that shows trust moving forward.
Yes,
Whatever happens.
really
And again, let's send a quick prayer to whatever God we're praying to today. That the odds are on our side.
This does mean we're going into a merge a man down, and they seem pretty tight. I feel like they really trauma bonded. So it's not looking too good, but you know, never give up. I'm gonna try and earn that purple buff that you're actually wearing right now, cameraman. And if I have to have blood, sweat, and tears, and blood on my hands, I'll do it. So I feel like I'm in a good spot, but a little bit worried going into this for sure.
All right, here we are at Tribal Council yet again. It's been a while since I've seen this group, actually.
3 hours.
Savannah, what's it been like today, being immune the entire time, and now how starkly different was that past round at camp?
Yeah. Well, I think after our last tribal, there was obviously some tension in the room. Someone's got some votes and had to come back to camp with us. So there definitely was awkward bit at first, but I think after a while, winning obviously brings people closer together. and we were able to have some really nice time together and really talk about like life and stuff outside the game for a little bit, which is really great. It's what makes these experiences so amazing outside of the game, no matter what happens. It was a really nice moment, I think, for all of us, and kind of reminded us why we're here and some of the bigger things that are going on in the world and in our lives. So that was nice, but unfortunately after losing, we had to kick it back into gear.
Yeah.
And it made it really awkward, especially what happened after the challenge. So, yeah.
Joel, what happened after the challenge?
Oh, fun stuff. Well, I feel responsible for losing the challenge. I feel like I'm the biggest loser because it's me and that lock. But we kind of just talked about like what we should do, considering like somebody's gonna play a whole key ring. So, and it made it tricky because like right before the challenge, we all kind of bonded and like talked about some of our experiences and how lucky we are to know each other and like, potentially visiting each other afterwards. And, this just throws a wrinkle into everything. So yeah, it was a really rough round because we weren't like, foreseeing a loss, especially being how strong we were.
So Eric, Savannah mentioned that last round, you were obviously the one who saw a bunch of boats that you were able to play a couple safety keys and get lucky to negate.
Yes.
What was it like
Great
going
choice.
back to camp knowing that you were with this group of people that technically wanted you out?
I mean, I just don't understand how that would ever bother anyone. Like, this is a silly game in the woods. It really is. It's an amazing production. It's fun to take it very seriously at times, but you got to remember the big picture. These are people I like, and we're playing a game, and at the end of it, we're all going to go home and continue our lives without another $1 million. So,
Right.
I feel like we had a good laugh about it. Like, I totally agree with Savannah. I thought we had some really fun, nice conversations. It got a little introspective, and to me, it's reminded me of what Survivor's all about. So, a little awkward, I admit it. Sprinting over to the Blue Tribe as fast as I could after that last challenge. Sure, yes, I will accept that. Maybe there's a schism here. Maybe you could draw a line between the guy in the clown suit and everybody else. Doesn't mean we can't have fun.
So May, talk to me about what happened after the challenge from your perspective.
I gotta do what's best for me in this game, regardless of like OG colors or anything like that. And we basically had to play this round as if like Eric isn't here, if that makes sense. It is advantageous for all of us to vote Eric this first round, to flush those keys for whoever stays. They know those keys are out of the game.
It's not advantageous for the person who will go home in the revote, though. That's the tricky part.
We all agreed that we're willing to take that bullet to help out the rest of us.
And we'll see if that's how it
And I'll
plays
speak
out.
up, especially after the challenge, and I think you were trying to do this. The way that you ran over to those people and all of them gave you your keys that you needed is a huge threat. That means they are going to work with you till the end. They are willing to give up power in the game to save you. That's scary, and it should be scary for all 5 of us.
Yes.
No matter what happens here, and I think.
Oh, brother. Yeah.
Okay, we respect each other
I agree.
heavy because we're all good gamers here, and we're all here to play and fight. We're passionate about this, not just for the game, but for all the things we've already talked about. And so we have to do what's best for us, and you're not at this point, unfortunately. I'm so sad.
No, I would just like to say, I agree with everything you're saying. Thank you for the compliments, first of all. And what I'm just saying is that absolutely everyone vote for me. I would generally do the same, but one person is going to be wrong to not throw a hinky vote out there. And I'm saying that isn't to, I'm obviously playing the keys. That's locked in. And this doesn't even change that. One hinky vote wouldn't change me going home or not. Even if I did want to vote for someone, it would just be me on the revote. One person will be wrong, and I can't wait to see how this shakes out.
So back to the question that was asked to me. So after we kind of had that talk and chat, we went off in one-on-ones and just made a tough decision, and I'm gonna do what I told the majority of people that I'm gonna do.
So Taylor, it sounds to me like the group is kind of, at least on the surface, has come to this idea of like, all right, we're all gonna call some sort of potential bluff with Eric just in case, or at least flush the keys at worst case scenario. and then we'll figure it out on the second vote. That is all fine and dandy to say on the front, but you gotta know each one of these other people is thinking at least 1% that, oof, I don't want it to be me. I'm pretty sure they're all voting for Eric. I could just throw that one. How heavy does that 1% actually weigh amongst this group?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely valid, but whether he plays it or not, if he's safe, then one of us is going to go home. If we throw a vote on the first vote, one of us is going to go home. So we kind of agree that, like, if he doesn't play them and he stays, he's going to be even more of a threat than if he plays and stays. So we'd rather be sure that he's not going to have that over us if he does stay.
Yeah.
And yeah, if one of us is going to go home anyways, it doesn't matter if it's on the first or second. It's kind of going to benefit all of us just to do that.
Yeah.
Do it that way.
It'll benefit 4 of you.
No,
But
because
it's going to be 4 of us on the first vote or the second vote. So might as well make sure that you're fucked at merge.
I'd rather be fucked in purple than red.
If you
They're
play
all saying-
a game, then you're gonna be number 6 because he's got 4 people eating out of the palm of his hand, handing him the game. I mean, we all saw it. Like,
It's pretty
no secret.
No, it has nothing to do with me. It's very clearly about the numbers, right? If I go home here, then red has the numbers over blue.
But not necessarily because there's redemption. Like, we don't know what that is.
5
you
and
know?
4.
There's like,
Oh,
Can you count?
I can't.
no. You can count, girl. Redemption. Like somebody will come
Yeah.
back, and it could be an old blue that got voted out by one of us, and then we're back at square one. So
Let me just say, they're all saying exactly what they should be saying. I feel like obligated to point out that if there's any human being in my spot right now, they would have done the same thing.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
talk me up as a bad all you want.
We cannot fault anybody for doing the same thing we would do in their shoes.
Yeah.
So like, there's no hard feelings whatsoever.
No,
Like
of
you
course.
said, like.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what you did on the last tribal, that was good for you. That you got your you got your shot in the dark. Good for you, and good for you to do whatever you need to do now. And we'll do what we need to do.
Yeah, and
Of
plus,
course,
like,
yeah.
going forward, there's going to be 4 of us regardless. It could be 5 of us if you are bluffing and you don't go home.
Right.
It could be 4 of us, it could be 5 of us, but it's better for us to not break trust within each other by risking it when one of us could go home anyways.
That is a valid argument for sure.
I will say, like, I'm kind of mad because it's like we won like 2 challenges and we still got kind of punished by Zach and Allison going home, and Blue got stronger. So even in winning, we still lost because there is still this power struggle happening. So it's bittersweet because we worked so hard, Eric included, to win immunity, and now all of that might go to shit just because we lost the last one. So yeah.
our first win in immunity, we lost Mira for no reason as well. So every time we have a win, we get a loss.
Yeah.
But Drew, in terms of the Zach and Allison of it all, isn't that the invoice for sticking so desperately to original tribal lines?
No, that's absolutely true. And I think that we did try to make some inroads with Eric, but it didn't seem to work out very well, obviously. And maybe he didn't feel like we were trying. I don't know, but I think we really did try to draw him in. But I mean, it was obvious that didn't happen when he went right over to Blue after that last disastrous,
Hey, what were you being truthful about?
Like when
immunity challenge.
Finish your thing and then
I thought you were. Sorry.
I'm done.
No, like he's saying that we did try and reach out to you, and I feel like we had a really good conversation.
Yeah.
And then when I had a one-on-one after we lost this last one, I told you, like when I had the original conversation, I said I'm gonna do what's best for my game, whatever that is, and that in this case it's voting you first, playing the keys, and then I asked you, do you have a preference in who goes afterwards? So that's something that might be advantageous for your game, so that we could build that trust. But I just thought I don't care.
Yeah, and the same for me.
I was
the same.
being truthful with that.
The same.
I will say in terms of like the Oxford.
I was being truthful in my answer. I think
I
we
just
had
want you to
a
know, like, I
perfunctory
wasn't-
game conversation. It was.
I think that's the answer I probably would have given too, but it was just an opportunity for you to state your preference if you wanted to.
That's fair. I mean, I honestly just didn't want to throw out a name. 'Cause I
That's
really
totally
didn't
fine
care.
That's fair.
as well, but just know that
Trust
from
goes
the
both ways.
question, like
Trust
we
goes
did
both ways.
try.
Yeah.
And we had a deep talk with everyone. It's not like we shut them out beforehand.
No.
It's only because we lost the challenge and we tried to win. We'd love to keep Eric, and it's just like we don't have really another option.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. My thing is like I don't like the guilt trip thing, because regardless if we would have pulled you in and if we would have went with your plan at merge, you had your own plans.
What guilt trip? When did I ever guilt trip anybody?
After Trace got voted out, you came. You're like, oh, does anybody want to talk about what happened? And you went to everybody else and said that you felt most hurt by me and Taylor. Did you not? By that vote.
I think that my words are getting really mixed up.
Okay, so I'll open the floor.
Sure, I just said you two are the people I knew and had a connection with going into this game. So naturally, I would feel most betrayed by you two going forward in the game.
And what was my response to you about
I don't remember.
working together? Yeah, it was just that, like, for me, I didn't want to go down that same path of like, oh, you got connections, you're working with people that you know, and why would I give up everything that we worked so hard for just for you to progress? Like,
you shouldn't. I feel like I'm very confused right now, Casey, because I feel like I came back to camp, laughed about everything, and then had game conversations, and Joelle's acting like I'm crying about this, and that could not be further from the truth. So it's 5-on-1, and I feel the need to defend myself right now. I've been having fun the whole time. This tribal council is actually the first time that I feel surprised in this game, because I feel like you're describing my reaction in a very incorrect way.
I guess like my feelings was just a little bit hurt, and I'm projecting. But you were never an outcast. And
I never felt like an outcast. I really didn't.
Okay.
I never felt, socially. This is a super nice group. We had a good time. I just don't understand how you're turning like game conversations into me being very upset about the tribal. I've never for a second been crying or upset about this last vote. It is super expected. That's why I played the keys, and I've been having fun this whole time.
So if you were on that challenge, would you have thrown it?
On that last challenge?
Yeah.
At the time, no. If I knew I was getting the 2 keys, then yeah, I would have for sure thrown that challenge. Absolutely.
Yeah. Casey, I mean, there's been this late. We've been talking about some of the private conversations after we got back to camp, but before that, there was talk about the real kind of in-depth conversation we had, which lasted for I don't know an hour or 2. I don't know how long it was, but I mean, we talked about life and love and faith and I mean, it was emotional, and and it started. Joel felt so responsible for the loss. He was worried that we thought that he might have thrown it, which we absolutely did not, and it just kind of lent itself to kind of conversations about deeper things, and so what strikes me is that after we lost and the challenge just most recently and had to deal with all this stuff, that it's like a microcosm of the game. It's like what I do in my work. I mean, I have to separate emotions from the facts. I have to. And I'm pretty good at doing that. I'm pretty good at compartmentalizing it. I've done it for a long time. And that's what we have to do right now. And I don't know that we've done a great job of it here, but that's okay too, because it's good to get stuff out, But I mean, now we've got to get down to the business of what we're here for, and like it or not, we've got to do it. And I don't like it, but that's the game, and we're playing the game.
And like you said, that is absolutely what tribal councils are for. This is an opportunity for people to talk through things, because at the end of the day, 5 of you are going to be here. And if Eric really does have 6 keys and he makes it through this round, then 4 of you are going to be here with him. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens after that. So it's great that we're able to kind of have these conversations now and start opening those doors. If there was tension back at camp, this is kind of one of the places that you can start relieving that. I don't know if it will stay relieved. It might keep building as the game progresses more and more. That's yet to be seen. But I'm glad you are opening up and willing to have very candid and valid conversations. That's what these games and these experiences are all about. Like, it's fun to show off for the cameras and everything, but at a certain point, connecting people on a human level is why we're actually here. Whether that be you're laughing together, you're crying together, you're bonding over mutual loves, or you're arguing and like going back and forth is just as much of a bonding experience if you're open to that. So while there is tension in this group, I really hope that afterwards and as things progress, we can still come together and appreciate where everyone stands, because from my perspective, it sounds like all of you understand the mindset of the other person. And each of you, if you were in any of their spots, you would do the same thing.
That's right. Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
right. Yeah, that's right. I do want to say, like, game recognizes game, and like you're an amazing player, and this is why like you're getting all this heat right now. And I think that like I should have handled that better by coming to you instead of, you know, like projecting on what I thought was happening, right?
I totally understand. Honestly, no apology needed. I don't think I deserve one. It's not. What I think is happening is I like all 5 people here. I truly did not think there was any tension at all until we got to tribal council, and I think that some conversations are getting circulated through the grapevine and maybe being changed, distorted, accidentally misconstrued, because I genuinely have had nothing but fun, and maybe we'll all talk about this afterwards.
All right. Well, after a very lively tribal council, I am very curious to see what's going to happen.
So are we.
Before we go, I would like to know who here is worried about going home.
Can I vote first?
All right, we will vote. Start with Eric.
Damn it.
And zigzag through.
Why didn't you
You know what? I don't have it in me.
That's my job now. Yeah, hit trigger.
All right, let's get to work. I really wish you'd just tell us if there weren't any of these things. I'm guessing I can't lift that lid up. Can I open this? Didn't think so. Give me a tell. Give me a tell, Casey. Am I getting closer? Is it in here? Do I have time to unravel this? Don't unravel it. You said don't take anything off the torches. I just don't know where it would be. I'm not supposed to be there.
All right. The votes have been cast. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. If you have a hidden immunity idol and you wish to play it, now would be the time to do so.
I'll go first. I'm about to play some keys, and you're probably gonna like the number of them, because I'm playing 4 keys, Casey. There you go.
All right. Eric has turned in 4 safety keys. He will choose 4 pieces of paper.
What do y'all think?
Throw the one like right over there. Throw the one in the outhouse.
Let's go with the corners.
Yeah, you said corners.
Yeah.
Eric played 4 safety keys. We will see if he is safe. With Eric's first key, he is not safe. With Eric's second key, he is not safe. With Eric's third key, not safe. And with Eric's fourth and final key, he is safe.
Wow.
I'll applaud that. I'll applaud.
Yeah. Good job.
Any votes cast for Eric will not count, and just for logistical sake, Not safe. Not safe.
Copy.
The votes have been cast. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. Any votes cast for Eric will not count. I'll read the votes. First vote, Eric. Does not count. Second vote, Eric. Does not count. Eric. Does not count. Eric. Does not count. The 11th person voted out as surviving Bloomington mischief makers.
When my son died, the 5 years or so before his death was just like pure hell because he was deep in addiction, and it was like I was worried about him all the time, and I cried a lot. And then of course when we lost him, which was, you know, sudden and unexpected, but not unexpected just because he was involved in so many risky things, you know. I certainly cried. And we lost him in May of 2020. But I know the last time I cried was in August of 2020, and I haven't cried since then. And I don't know, I mean, I think it did something to me. You know? It did something to me that way, but it did something to me in lots of ways. I mean, it really cemented some of the things that I've talked to you about letting people live the way they need to live, because, I mean, I think with him, I was so worried about so many of the things he was doing. A lot of times I would kind of sweat the small stuff, you know? And it's like, you know what? I mean, once you're gone, there isn't anything else you can do about it. So there's all big stuff then. Or actually, I guess I should say it another way. It's like pretty much everything's pretty much small stuff, except like just as long as you've got life, you know, and as long as you're basically happy and healthy.
The 11th person voted out as surviving Bloomington mischief makers. Drew. One vote is enough. Drew, you can bring me your torch.
Okay, guys.
Drew, you need to bring me your torch. All right, Drew, you will have a chance to re-enter this game.
Grab my stuff.
You can grab your stuff and head to Redemption Island.
Okay.
Just take your torch.
Okay.
You can leave your stuff for now.
That's awkward. Okay. No clue what's gonna happen. I'm so stupid for forgetting my other key, but hopefully it's not me tonight.
Eric, you're my friend, and you played a heck of a game. I'm sorry that you were blue while I've been red. I'm glad you've been red with me during the last swap, but I'm sorry we couldn't bring you more over to the red side. I know that this might wind up in you being safe, but this is something that we had to do. You played a great game. I hope you're going home, but we'll see.
For this crazy little boat, I have a lot of feelings. Some nerves, some excitement. So I'm voting for Eric to prove that I have loyalty to Red. I'm kind of hoping he gets a little lucky tonight, because I think I have an option there moving forward. And this march is gonna be crazy. I hope me sticking my neck out for Red proves myself there. Reaching out to Eric, hopefully that does some work there. And I hope I'm just not getting played for any reason. So, Eric, I'll vote for you. Good luck. Hopefully your search was bountiful. Good luck.
Okay, let's try this again. I know you're gonna play your keys, but we have to do this for our plan, for the sake and for it to go through. I think this round showed me a lot about like my gameplay, and I'm hoping that this will be a turning point. So just know that you taught me something.
Hi, girlies. Well, I have no keys, so I can't put that shit in there. Shit. Oh my god. Holy fuck. Excuse my language, but I didn't think that would happen. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep looking then. Okay, but what if I have to use the shovel to dig a hole under the sign and there's a key hidden? Just kidding. I'm gonna... This hits hard. Because before the season even started, I messaged a whole bunch of people and I was like, out of all the people, I'm so excited to play with Drew. Like, I gravitate towards this kind of personality and I think we would be like best friends and we're gonna kill it and run the game together. So it sucks that it has to come to me writing your name down. Hopefully everyone else is going to do what they said they were going to do. And this will work out. This is truly because you're my bounty. So, no hard feelings.